Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of my MyTeam career mode here on F1 2021 here with episode 3, getting ready for the Monaco Grand Prix. Last time out we were at Spain and we had a pretty decent result, finishing in P12, very close to points, definitely better than round 1 where we had to DNF due to some sort of car issue. Hopefully we can continue that trend this time on. We've got a few more upgrades lined up on the car coming into this round. I believe we've got a gearbox, improved materials, as you can see there, and I think we already had one minor engine come in just before the weekends. And you can see here we've got a durability department event, so already getting straight into it here this episode. You can see here we're going to get 562 resource points there. I think that's definitely a good option. The team acclaim isn't that big of a thing for me. We're definitely, if we follow the same trends as the last couple of weekends, we'll be able to get that second sponsor slot either way without that. So yeah, I decided to go for the resource points there because that is going to allow us to try and get some more upgrades on the car. You can see here, getting an air upgrade, just a minor, some front downforce, which will be coming in after Azerbaijan. They're just before Canada, so we won't be seeing this upgrade for 2 races here, but yeah, we've just got to slowly work our way up. At this point, we don't really have any facilities. We haven't upgraded anything yet. So, yeah, it's going to be slow to begin with. You can see they're getting in our gearbox, improved materials, and that allows us to actually unlock a couple more durability upgrades that we can do later on, but we don't have the resource points at the moment, so not quite able to do that. You can see just quickly scrolling through, having a look if there's anything. We do have a discount on that aerodynamic part, but we also don't have enough points for that. And you can see we move on, getting our weekly resources in. We now do have some more resource points, but I decided to just leave it, and we're just going to move straight on to the interview here with Will Buxton.
Well, it's great to be back at your headquarters, and I've got to say, an awful lot's changed since we were last here. Let's dive in with some questions. A recent survey found that your staff have the highest employee satisfaction of all the F1 teams. That's quite the accolade. In your opinion, what makes you the best team to work for in Formula One? Upgrades to your facilities seem to have stalled. Is there no more room for improvement, or are you prioritizing other areas? Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development? Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team? Your team's been picking up points fairly consistently. Do you think you'll be able to become a challenge to the top teams in the future? Well, thanks so much as ever for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
So now with that interview out of the way, we can sort of focus on the final couple admin bits of work that we have to do before heading into the race weekend. You can see I'm just going to have a quick look through the facility because you can see we do have enough money now to purchase one of these facility upgrades, and I feel like aerodynamics is definitely where we want to work on first. So I decided to go for a build time upgrade there in our aero facility for 1.5 million. That gives us 700k left, which is plenty of money. Yeah, so that's all of that sort of done now. So we're just going to move straight on to the Monaco Grand Prix here. And you can see now we are at the weekend and there's not really too much to have a look at. You can see we do have our gearbox upgrade in there, which we saw earlier. You can see we're 3 points ahead of Nikita Mazepin there in our rivalry, so that's always good. But you can actually see here, looking at our R&D progress, we've actually had a really bad run here between weekends. You can see everyone has kept moving forward, and we've actually just not moved at all. So we're now behind Alfa Romeo and have become the 3rd slowest car on the grid on paper here. Of course, we know that R&D graph isn't 100% accurate, so you have to take that with a bit of a pinch of salt. But you can see just moving on to practice programs here, hoping to have a bit of a better run than we did in Spain. But you can see also still getting a lot of reds here, even on the 70% ones. I was struggling a lot as we move on to the second practice here. I did get a few 50%, but for some reason the 70% seemed to be the weakness here, where I just wasn't really getting them done. But I definitely got more done than I did last time out in Spain, so that was a positive. I got a lot more resource points this time out. You can see they're getting a lot of those bonuses as well. So yeah, you can see sort of running out of things to do here, and as we come onto the summary sheet, you can see we get about 599 points there, so that gives us over 1,000 resource points now, and you can see we're going to scroll through a bunch of development boosts that we've got, which is going to give us a bunch of discounts on a lot of upgrades, so yeah, that's what we need after that bit of a slum between Spain and Monaco here, where we've sort of been left behind in that upgrade department, which we knew was going to happen at some point, obviously, but we've given ourselves the reduced R&D points and the AI increased R&D points, so yeah, I guess that's kind of what we want. We want it to be tough for us. We don't want to be able to be winning the championship in just 2 seasons like you have been able to in the last couple of games. We want to be able to draw this out, and I feel like it'll be a lot harder and much more of a grind compared to last year's game, but actually winning the championship this year will certainly be much more of a victory. I feel like it'll feel like a bigger deal than what it has in the past. But you can see, moving on to qualifying now, there's us sitting in our garage, and we're just going to, just like last time, jump straight onto our lap. But this time, I didn't show it there, but going into the qualifying session, we actually had a pretty big fault on the car, so we had to skip through time, and that only gives us enough time to do 1 lap, and actually it was very close there. You can see we only got across the line with about 10 seconds remaining in the session, and that was just going out as soon as I possibly could, so yeah, that's unfortunate. Normally my second lap is a lot better than my first lap, so only getting to do 1 lap here this time out was definitely unfortunate. You can see at the bottom right there, our engine is starting to wear. I did change out a couple pieces, but I kept in some of those that were a bit worn, but they weren't going to fail by the end of the race. Monaco isn't really a very power dependent track, so I thought it's better to save as many engine pieces as we can, because I imagine we're going to need a penalty at some point. But you can see we crossed the line there, and it's actually not a very good lap. Yeah, we're out in Q1 here this time out. You can see Hamilton goes fastest here in Q1, but we're going to scroll down to us there, and you can see P17, so just about missing out by about half a tenth of a second. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I guess you can see there the Alfa Romeo is in 14th and 16th, so those upgrades they brought in have sort of allowed them to catch up to Alpine a bit. And yeah, it might be a bit more of a struggle to get out of Q1 and into Q2 now that we're not the fourth last team. Now we're the 3rd last team, so yeah, we're definitely going to have to put a lot of work in. But you can see here, moving to the rivalry breakdown, we do still at least get a point over our rival Nikita Mazepin, and getting another 1,000 acclaim there for ourselves and for the team as we go to an 8-4 position there. But you can see team acclaim getting very close to level 5, and once we do that, obviously we'll be able to get that second sponsor slot, which could be very crucial for us in being able to upgrade those facilities, because once we upgrade the facilities, we'll be bringing in more resource points, and we'll be able to make more upgrades at a quicker rate. So that's what we need at this point to I think focus on facilities and just getting in as many minor upgrades as we possibly can. But yeah, that's it. We're going to move on to the race.
Nelson Piquet once said that driving the Circuit de Monaco was like riding a bicycle around your living room, and it's not hard to see what he means by that. There's no more prestigious a Grand Prix victory than Monaco, but also none so challenging. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco then. It's not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Perez, Sainz, Vettel and Lance Stroll, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly and Ocon, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Benjamin and Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Russell, Matsushita and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
So here we are on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix. You can see, having a look at the strategy, we're going to be starting on the hard tyres here and then going to the mediums about halfway through. So you can see I was playing around with the strategy a little bit because it just seems like an odd strategy to do 20 laps on the hards and then 19 laps on the mediums, like almost the same amount of laps on each tyre. So I was just playing around with it a little bit, seeing if maybe it'd be better to start on the mediums. And you can see there, it was going to be about an equal time, but I just decided, the engineers are the professionals here. I'll leave them to that. Don't want to change everything around too much. And as we know, fuel economy is actually pretty good in this year's game, so I'm going to leave it at about 0.4 laps over target. And yeah, we're just going to move straight onto the race here. So we're going to have 5 red lights revving up here as we all sit on the grid. And it's going to be 5 lights out, and away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's actually a good start this time. You can see getting around the outside of Kimi Raikkonen there. And as we get into turn 1, able to dive right around the outside of Giovinazzi there. And able to get ahead of both Alfa Romeos off the start. So yeah, that's good there. After they sort of embarrassed us a bit there in qualifying, able to get around them. But you can see Yuki Tsunoda has some sort of damage, so we're able to go around the outside of both AlphaTauris there in the casino section. So up into P13 straight away. So very good start for us here in Monaco. We're actually the lead hard tyre car, and you can see we could have maybe gone for a dive there into the hairpin, but I decided better against it. It's only lap 1, and I imagine everyone in front of us is going to be a lot quicker as they're in quicker cars and they're on mediums. But you can see behind us we're getting a massive gap because Tsunoda has, I think he's got a whole front wing missing from his cars, and obviously Monaco being Monaco, the AI just cannot get around him, so he's driving ultra slow. And you can see as we head towards the start of the second lap, we've got about 6.5 seconds to him before he then pulls into the pit lane to repair that damage. But now we just have to watch out for Pierre Gasly, because that AlphaTauri is definitely quicker than our Zvezda Racing Team car here. Only 3rd race of the team's career, basically. So yeah, he's gonna be able to close in on us. But you can see I'm not losing too much time to the Alpines in front, which is certainly good news. Monaco has always been a pretty decent track for me here. But as you can see, we cut through the laps. They do start pulling away quite a bit, and Pierre Gasly is actually only 2 seconds away here, you can see on lap 6, and we cut now to lap number 9, and he's right behind us as we head through the swimming pool section, actually getting a bit loose, and that just puts me off a bit, and actually jump over that inside curb there as we head into Rascasse here, going a bit wide, locking up the inside wheel, and this puts Gasly right on our tail. And as we cut on to lap 10 now, heading on to lap 11, Gasly is easily able to go around our outside there. I believe he put in a fresh power unit. I think he had a penalty last time out, or this time out. I'm not completely sure, but definitely has a better power unit than what we had, as he's able to easily get past us as we head through the casino section, trying to keep up, just going a bit deep there. But I think that is that position gone, and we're just going to have to wait and see if maybe something happens in the pit stop phase. Not completely sure though, but you can see Giovinazzi was actually able to catch up, and as we come on to lap 12, I was pushing a lot here as Gasly really took away, and I just lose it through the swimming pool section, hit the wall, our tyres off, and we're out of the race.
Engine off, engine off.
They've done it then. They've won here in Monaco with an emphatic performance and a victory they can be proud of for years to come. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So that is definitely not the result we were looking for here in Monaco. Definitely not what I was expecting. You can see they're finishing last. Not even finishing, the only retirement of the race here. Team Matsushita ends up in P20. So definitely a weekend to forget here in Monaco. Obviously starting qualifying out with that fault and that issue there. And then, yeah, just I don't know really what happened in the race there. I just was pushing really hard to try and keep up with Gasly to maybe try and gain something in a pit stop somewhere, but it just wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. Just overstepped it and lost it on the curb, and yeah, the wall ripped our wheel off there. You can see Matsushita and I both staying in our position there in the championship. Obviously no one around us is gaining any points, which Lance Stroll there you can see in P14 also with no points. That's a bit of a surprise actually, to see the Canadians without scoring yet 3 races into the season, as Sebastian Vettel is well into the top 10 at this stage. But that's all there really is to look at here, and we're going to move on to the constructors standings. And we can see here we stay in P8, so 4th last team out of everyone, as there's a bit of shuffling around going on ahead of us. But yeah, not losing out to Alfa Romeo there, even though they brought in those upgrades. So yeah, it's fortunate for us that none of those guys there behind us were able to score any points, but it would have been nice for us to score some points there. But you can see we do lose out massively to Mazepin in the rivalry there, and we're actually now drawing 8-8 there. So yeah, that's unfortunate. However, despite that crash, actually, this was a bit surprising. Team Acclaim does move up to level 5, so next episode, when we're doing all the admin work, we'll be able to add a secondary sponsor there and get a bit more cash flow. And you can see, unfortunately, losing a fair bit of money there in damage deductions due to that crash. And you can see, in total, we've got about $1 million. So, yeah, certainly not a small amount of money, but it would have been nice to maybe get a bit more if we had a bit of a better result. But yeah, that's going to be it for us here today, guys. Well, next time out, we're going to be at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. There's actually not a long time between races, but if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this in the future. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.